The Samsaptakas cornered Arjuna using a half-moon battle formation. The Kaurava army discovered that Arjuna was far away from Dharmaraja. Duryodhana, with a mocking smile on his face and brimming with arrogance, approached Dronacharya and said, "Akarya, I have done what you asked. I have led Arjuna far from Dharmaraja. Now the time has come for you to fulfill the promise you made." Without a moment's delay, Dronacharya went straight to his chariot. He climbed onto it, picked up the conch resting on the seat, placed one foot on a raised spot so he could stand tall, pressed the conch to his lips, and blew into it with all his might. All at once, the Kaurava soldiers who were fighting on the battlefield of Kurukshetra ceased their combat. Dronacharya blew the conch once more. Immediately, the Kaurava soldiers rushed back and converged at one spot. The Pandavas were completely baffled. They could not figure out what was happening. Everyone stood there, stunned, as though time had frozen in place. Meanwhile, from among the Kaurava forces, drummers and trumpeters began to create a resounding din of war drums and horns. In response to that sound, the entire Kaurava army stood in formation, forming a giant wheel-like shape. This formation had 7 concentric circles. In each circle stood horsemen, elephants, chariots, archers, and warriors. The Pandavas had no clue what was going on. "What's going on over there? What formation is that? It looks impossibly difficult for us to break through," Dharmaraja said in alarm. Right away, standing beside Dharmaraja, Drishtadyumna answered, "Maharaja, there is no formation mightier than this one. This is the pinnacle of them all. It is so powerful that it could wipe out the entire battlefield. This is the Padmavyuha. If Dronacharya has formed this on this day, our battle might as well be lost already." Even as Drishtadyumna explained this, the Padmavyuha itself began to rotate, like the earth rotating on its axis while orbiting the sun, and slowly advanced toward the Pandava army. In the same way that the sun scorches and destroys anything obstructing its path, this Padmavyuha annihilates, nay, it slices and shreds to pieces any enemy in its way. That formation was moving straight toward the place where Dharmaraja stood. Seeing it approach, the Pandava soldiers threw down their swords and armor in panic and fled, muttering, "If we can only survive today, that's enough." None of them had the courage even to stand in the path of the Padmavyuha, let alone fight it. Overcome by fear, Dharmaraja asked Drishtadyumna, "How can we possibly break this formation?" Drishtadyumna answered, "Maharaja, among all those currently fighting in the Pandava army, only Arjuna knows how to break the Padmavyuha. But the Samsaptakas have trapped him. It might take him all day to defeat them and return. Meanwhile, this Padmavyuha will crush the entire Pandava army. By the time Arjuna arrives, all he will see is our defeat, our deaths." At that, Dharmaraja found both the fear of defeat and the fear for his very life rising in him. Looking straight ahead, he saw the unstoppable Padmavyuha surging forward, giving no quarter. Not a single soldier dared go out to meet it. Dharmaraja's hands began to shake. Glancing around at all his warriors gathered to protect him, Dharmaraja cried out, "My brave ones, are we truly destined to lose this battle today? Must we surrender our very lives? Are we to bow before that evil Duryodhana in utter defeat? Alas, my brother Arjuna isn't even here at this crucial time. Is there not a single warrior among us who can break this Padmavyuha? Is there not one hero here who can defend the Pandava army? That Padmavyuha advances on us like it's declaring, 'Today is the day you die.' Is there truly no one among us who can shatter it?" He spoke these words in a trembling voice, full of fear, anguish, and despair, when suddenly a voice rang out from behind the warriors, "I am here, dear uncle." A single hand was raised. Friends, would you believe that simply reading a most interesting story could change a person's life? Would you believe that merely reading such a story to your children could teach them the values they need in life? Would you believe that for any problem you are facing, or might face in the future, you could find a solution by reading just one story? Yes, it's possible, and only with the greatest epic ever told in the history of mankind, the Mahabharata. This tale is 100 times grander than any super-hit movie. That's a challenge. The full Mahabharata story, as written in Vikramaditya's words, is available in 2 volumes, both as a printed book and as an eBook, through Amazon and 43 other online stores. This book is available in 54 languages worldwide. I've included the links in the description below this video, so go ahead and order it right away. Because this is not just a book, it is the library of life lessons you need. Dharmaraja asked with hope in his voice, "Who is that? Who are you? Is there truly a hero among us who can break that formation? Come forward!" Parting the gathered warriors as if splitting storm clouds, like the sun rising from the depths, a mighty warrior emerged and stood before Dharmaraja. Dharmaraja stared in amazement. It was none other than Abhimanyu, the son of Arjuna. Abhimanyu, do you know how to break the Padmavyuha? Do you truly have the power to do it? Dharmaraja asked. Abhimanyu replied, Dear uncle, I learned how to break the Padmavyuha even while I was still in my mother's womb. And as for my power, no matter how many great warriors stand inside that formation, no matter how skilled in warfare they may be, why, even if there is another Arjuna like my father inside that Padmavyuha, or all the gods themselves, I alone can defeat them all. Just give me the command, uncle. Hearing Abhimanyu's confident words, Dharmaraja suddenly felt sure that the Pandava army would triumph today. All those warriors who had been trembling in fear also breathed a sigh of relief. They were convinced that Abhimanyu alone could protect the entire Pandava army. Even so, Dharmaraja hesitated. He looked at Abhimanyu, seeing a 16-year-old boy, his beloved brother's son. The mere thought of anything happening to him was unbearable, but Abhimanyu took a step closer and spoke to Dharmaraja. Uncle, trust me. I can break the Padmavyuha. Just give me one chance, and I will present victory to the entire Pandava army today. Don't think twice. Let me go. Dharmaraja placed his hand on Abhimanyu's shoulder and said, Abhimanyu, today the lives of everyone in the Pandava army depend upon you. Go forth, lead the way into that Padmavyuha. I will come with you, so will all our warriors. Today, together, we will break that formation and end the Kauravas. Show us the way, Abhimanyu. Overjoyed and filled with confidence, Abhimanyu smiled and called out, Charioteer, harness the horses, load the chariot with weapons. Today, we shall wipe out the Kauravas in this great war of Kurukshetra. Prepare our chariot for battle. Now, let's see how Abhimanyu will fight. But first, why do they say no one can easily break the Padmavyuha? What makes it so powerful? In the Padmavyuha formation, the soldiers stand arranged in a vast circle that has 7 concentric rings. Each ring poses a unique challenge. As one fights through from the outside toward the center, each inner ring contains mightier fighters than the ones in the previous ring. At the very heart of the formation stand the king, the king's kin, the commander-in-chief, and the mightiest heroes. Moreover, each ring is arranged in 5 rows of warriors. Swordsmen in the front row, archers who shoot arrows right behind them, cavalry on horses behind the archers, elephant divisions behind the cavalry, and finally, soldiers on chariots in the rear. Though 5 rows stand in each ring, they keep moving in different directions with varying speeds, making it impossible for anyone to enter without defeating all who block the path. If you try to kill some soldiers in the front row and then push inside, the next row instantly closes in to attack you, and the gap you created disappears by the time you get there because the formation keeps rotating. On top of all that, it requires 40% of one's total strength just to fight inward toward the center and 60% more to break back out. If any warrior manages to push in, they'll already be exhausted by then, so returning alive is next to impossible. That's why the Padmavyuha is often called a one-way trap. You can get in, but you can't easily get out. Abhimanyu, however, prepared himself to break it. Friends, the next episode's content will be on an entirely new level, so don't miss it. We'll meet again next Saturday at the same time. Order my Mahabharata books right now. The links are in the description below this video. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so immediately. Till then, take care. Bye.